Okay.
Hello, I'm Dr. Paul, and this is my beautiful wife, Lynn. And today we are going to discuss a new preparation that we have made, and we call it Clear Mind. Now, Clear Mind is a combination of herbs, homeopathics, that we have put together along with some of our GANS waters that we make that will benefit us as we age and start to have problems with memory, cognition, learning, things that happen as we get older, but they don't have to. They can be slowed down and even mitigated.
Okay, so let's just think about let's say you can't think straight. What's the underlying reason for brain fog and not being able to think straight? Now, I'm going to say brain fog is what we have when we get out of bed in the morning and we're a little disoriented for maybe a couple of minutes, and then we get up and we get all squared away and we're on with our day. But if that disorientation persists, and if you feel fuzzy all day, and if you can't think straight, that may be some signs that there's something going on, brain fog, but something more is going on with you. Let's look at some of the underlying factors. One of the factors can be inflammation. Now, inflammation in your body can happen with different organs or whatever. So what might cause inflammation in the body? Okay, asthma, arthritis, vasculitis, ulcerative colitis, thyroid issues. So anytime you have inflammation going on in a certain area, a certain organ, is that inflammation going to be isolated?
No, it's going to spread throughout your body because all of the inflammation molecules are spread throughout the blood system.
Okay, so the blood system is going to carry all the inflammation, which is going to add to the symptoms that you might be dealing with. So another cause for inflammation could be a combination of prescriptions that you might be taking, and maybe that's leading up to inflammation, or not inflammation, but to the brain fog in your body. I'm sure you've experienced, if you have to take this, there might be a side effect, so you need that, but unfortunately that has a side effect and you need.
That's exactly right. I'm on several medications because of a kidney transplant, and I have to take medication to keep my body from rejecting that transplant, which in turn lowers my immune system, and which in turn also causes indigestion problems. So then I have to take other medications to counter the effects of the first medications. And this goes on and on and on. I'm sure many of you have experienced the same type of things.
So then another thing might be sleep disorders. And that can be caused by a number of factors. It could be caused by stress and worry. It could be caused by certain things that you're eating. So when you have sleep disorders, maybe you're not breathing properly and have to have some assistance with what's going on there. And when you don't get good sleep at night, your brain doesn't get a chance to reset. So you end up having brain fog. The other thing would be poor nutrition. And there's a lot of information now about different combinations of foods that we can choose, and basically what kind of fats we can eat, what are good fats, what are fats that may not be as good for us. And basically under the good fats, you're going to see the omega-3s, such as in fish and nuts, avocados, olive oil, cashews, things of that nature. What you're going to see that may be causing brain fog for you and can't think straight are the combination of foods that have highly refined carbohydrates, sugars, and trans fats. And what happens when you eat a lot of that and maybe you've had something like that to eat, and a couple hours later you're feeling sleepy, you're not at the top of your game, so to speak. So what happens physiologically when that goes on?
What specifically?
Well, let's say you've had a high carbohydrate lunch with a lot of sugars, a lot of trans fats, and now it's 2 hours later and you're kind of crashed.
What happens with the high carbohydrate is that it stimulates your pancreas and liver to secrete a high volume of insulin. And the insulin is needed to take the glucose into the cells for proper metabolism. But there's so much insulin released that it moves all of the glucose out of your blood into the cells, and therefore your blood sugar, the circulating glucose in your blood, drops. And then your brain does not have enough glucose or nourishment to function properly. And so you start getting sleepy, irritable, and you don't feel good, and things just go downhill from there. So I'm sure that a lot of you, after a big Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving, something like that, a couple hours after dinner, everybody's sleepy. Well, that's what's going on there. That's what's happening.
Okay, and then another thing that may be going on is, like I mentioned before, say stress and depression. So these are all contributing factors that can be causing brain fog and can't think straight. So what we've done, we have the GANS that's been put together, and while Paul is showing that to you, I'll tell you what's in there.
This is the combination that Lynn is talking of, and you can see the powdery substance in the bottom. That's the battery that's charging the water that we use. This is the GANS down here, and this is the water that we use that is energized by the plasmatic field of all of this monoatomic material in the very bottom.
And show them the glass with the blue lid. That's just something that hasn't been shaken up, because generally when you get something from us in a vial, it's clear, and then you're going to wonder, well, is there any GANS in there?
This is what we use, this part right up here. You can see the powdery substance in the bottom.
But when they get a vial of this, is there GANS in
There
it?
are some of these very fine particles are still in that water because they don't all settle out. There's a few still floating around up in here that are microscopic, very small.
Okay, and so what we have in there is the combination of quite a few vitamins, supplements, herbs, minerals. There's carnosines, beta-alanine, beta-betaine, HCl, bitartrate, blueberry fruit, B12. There's some South American herbs, camu camu and
Chuchuasi.
chuchuasi, curcumin, CQ10, CBD oil, DMAE fish oil with omega-3, folic acid, glutathione. There's quite a few more things. There's also the plasma energy of CO2 and the plasma energy of the zinc waters, and so you have a combination of the energies from vitamins, nutrients, elements, minerals that are all going to help with specifically clear mind. And Paul, would you like to show what kind of leads up here with the brain conditions as people age and there may be issues with Alzheimer's?
Okay, there was a Zoom program on the internet that was put on by a bunch of medical doctors and health professionals that they were discussing dementia in Alzheimer's disease and other causes. And some of the things that they went over we have here, and I just want to go through this real quick and give you a kind of an idea of what happens when Alzheimer's develops. And you can see in this first picture here, this is a picture of a normal brain. This is a picture of a brain with advanced Alzheimer's disease. And this is a picture of the advanced Alzheimer's disease brain inset within the outline of the normal brain. And you can see how much actual loss of actual brain tissue that there is in advanced Alzheimer's versus a normal brain.
So the gray shaded area around the third photo at the bottom is what a normal sized brain would be.
Right.
Okay.
And this is the part that is lost in advanced Alzheimer's, so that your brain is actually smaller than a normal brain. And the next picture we have here is, this is what it looks like on the inside of the brain. Now this side over here shows what a normal brain looks like with normal sized ventricles. The ventricles are openings within the brain where the gray matter is actually not, it's not one big mass. It's like in cords or in tubes. And these ventricles are places where the gray matter is not actually touching itself, and there are openings. Now, in an Alzheimer's brain, these openings are much larger, and this accounts for the area that we just saw of brain loss. And when you lose brain material, you develop holes in your brain where tissue should be but is not. And this is just some microscopic pictures that were taken under a microscope that show areas of amyloid, the clumps here that inhibit the transfer of signals between brain cells. So these are like dead materials that are blocking the transfer of the electrical signals throughout the brain, which then gives you brain fog.
So the one on the top with the red blotches would be an Alzheimer's, and then the little inset at the bottom are healthy cells without the blobs of...
Right.
Okay.
And then this is just when Alzheimer's begins, it starts in this area down here called the hippocampus. And then spreads as time goes by. This is beginning, this is moderate.
Hold that up because I can't.
This is
Yeah.
a brain with moderate Alzheimer's. And then here again, you can see this is a similar type of thing. This is early, moderate, and then this is severe. When you get to this point, this is when you've got severe mental issues. You have a hard time knowing where you are and who the people around you are and how to take care of yourself. You forget how to brush your teeth. And I'm sure if any of you have relatives with Alzheimer's, you know what I'm talking about. And so that's the progression of Alzheimer's disease. And there's one last thing here. In advanced Alzheimer's disease, most of the cortex, which is this part, is seriously damaged. The brain shrinks dramatically due to widespread cell death. Individuals lose their ability to communicate, to recognize family and loved ones, and to care for themselves. So that's because of all of the brain damage that is done in advanced Alzheimer's.
Okay, so when we send you the plasma energy, oh, excuse me for that. We are going to send it to you in the glass vial. Of course, that's in warm weather when we're going warm house to warm house. All right. When we get to cold weather, we live in a northern climate, and when the temperatures drop below 32 Fahrenheit, we're going to start seeing these little vials breaking, no matter how well they're packed, because of the freezing temperatures. And so we send them in a BPA-free plastic vial that we know will not break. If you're outside of the country, we're going to send you a pair of patches, and these are going to fit on the outside of a container, a clear glass, and we always suggest that you use clear glass or clear plastic. Now, it's okay if it's translucent, like maybe a tinted pink or a tinted blue, but you're going to put your patches on the outside of your container of water. And you can certainly use a much bigger container than this. And you'll tape it, you'll tie it, you can put a rubber band to hold it on. Those are the things you can do. You can also get a spray bottle, and you can spray, if you're just having a fuzzy moment or something, you can drink a little of the water, but then you could just spray around your head. And if you have a hat that you wear a lot, spray that hat with your water that you've made from your Clear Mind, never-ending plasma energy Clear Mind. You could also wash your pillow and your pillowcases, add your plasma energy water, about a cup to a rinse cycle, and let it just sit there for an hour or so and get the plasma energy into those pillowcases and pillows and anything that touches your head. That's another way that you can utilize the Clear Mind plasma energy water. Do you have anything you might add to that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that's about it.
Okay, well, we want you to, if you'd like to find out more, you can go to plasmaenergysolution.com, and there's a pretty extensive blog there that I did on brain fog and Clear Mind, and you'll just have to sort through the blogs to find it. And if you go to the home page and click on shop, and then there will be another title that comes up that's called product. And with product, you can look at each product we have, and we're adding videos to each one to explain a little more about each of the products. So we thank you for taking the time to watch this video.
Yes, we thank you. And if you feel like you've gotten any value from this video, please give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends and neighbors. And also subscribe so that you'll get notification of our upcoming videos. Oh, and also there's a comment section down below this video. If you have questions, comments, please leave your questions and comments in that area, and we'll do our best to answer them in upcoming videos. Again, thank you very much.